If you play, you have played. But if you read, have you read? By Gerardo Piña and Anaí Ramirez. Be, catch, write, ride, watch. Run, stop, sing, have, see, swim. Play, move, do, draw. My dear teacher, I was late to school today. I stopped by the park and played some ball. I sang with the birds and caught some bugs. Have you ever, my dear teacher, played some ball, sang with the birds and caught some bugs? But please hold on. Or is it played some ball, sang with the birds, and catch some bugs? I'm confused and not amused. English verbs are so insane. I think I'll just move to Spain. You think learning verbs in English is difficult? If your answer is yes, here are some tips that can help you. Regular verbs are easy. You add d, ed, or ied at the end. Participle forms of play and played and played. Stop. Confused and amused are regular verbs too. But what happens when we have to remember the past and participle forms of irregular verbs like sing and catch? Songs, poems, and rhymes are easier to remember than paragraphs. This is because they have rhythm and they are very catchy. To remember verbs, you can recite some patterns every morning while you are taking a shower or in the evening before going to bed. Try the following patterns: catch, cough, caught, buy, brought, think, thought, fight, fought, or sing, sang, song, drink, drank, drunk, began, begun, ring, ran, rung. To remember the patterns better, you can make up little stories with the verbs. For example, one day I went to the lake and started to sing a song. A bird began to sing also. I sang louder and louder. To my surprise, the bird sang as loud as I could too. After we had sung together for an hour, it began to rain. I called my brother and asked him to pick me up. When he arrived, we were so thirsty that we drank too much soda. Before returning home, we needed to go to the bathroom urgently. But there weren't any around. Can you guess what we did? Exactly, we went back into the river. The pattern is sing, sang, song. Another good way of remembering verbs is through jokes. Take a look at the following jokes and try to complete them with the correct verb from the ones in the box. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7 ate 9. Why did the girl blush when she opened the fridge? Because she saw the salad dressing. Why did the little bat brush his teeth? Because he had bat breath. Why was the archaeologist upset? Because his job was in ruins. Why were the ants full? Because they went to the restaurant. It's time to remember the difference between regular and irregular verbs. Please read the following poem. I had a strange and funny dream last night. It was a dream without an idea. There were smells and sounds and my friend Maria. I couldn't see her, but I felt alright. Suddenly I was in a place like my backyard. I saw paradise, trees and air and mysterious birds, a sense of earth and sun and peace, no words, and I knew that life is sometimes hard. It was after my dream that I realized that material things are idealized. Let's look at the verbs in the poem. Regular verbs. To form the past and past participle of a regular verb and the suffix in the poem, these verbs are realized and idealized. Underline them in red. Irregular verbs. To form the past and past participle of an irregular verb, there are no rules, so you have to memorize them. In the poem, these verbs are have, be, can, feel, see, and know. Underline them in blue. In the poem, there are also rhyming words. They end with similar sounds. Thousands of years ago, when there were no printed books, ancient poets created rhymes to help people memorize important texts. So if you want to remember an irregular verb, think of a word that rhymes with it. For example, word, rhythms with new, blue, shoe, glue, saw, jaw, paw, straw, felt, melt, belt. Try reading the poem out aloud. Can you notice the rhyme and the regularity of sounds? Some irregular verbs follow different patterns of similarities. For example, write, wrote, written, hide, hid, hidden, ride, rode, ridden, drive, drove, driven. If you repeat these verbs aloud many times, you will memorize them easily. You can even make up a little tune. There are lots of irregular verbs in books or on the internet, but you can create your own list. Group the verbs accordingly to their endings. This will help you remember them and pass your exams. Finally, a piece of good news. Some irregular verbs never change. They keep the same form in the present, past, and past participle. Hit, hurt, let, and put. The context in which they appear will let you know the the form they are in. Look at the following dialogue and try to see why the man was confused. One day, a man repaired my television. Where should I put it, ma'am? He asked. Well, I put it on the table, I replied. No, you did not. I didn't do what? You did not put this TV on that table. What are you talking about? I'm carrying the TV, so you couldn't have put it on the table. I mean that I normally put it there. The man started to sweat and his legs were shaking. Tell me where to put the TV. I just told you. I put it over there, I said, pointing to the table again. Finally, the man couldn't hold the TV anymore and dropped it on the floor. What did you do? I told you where I put it. You told me where you put it, but you didn't tell me where to put it. There are games designed especially to help you learn irregular verbs. These games take into consideration two things: that you know what an irregular verb is and that you want to get better at using them while writing emails, learning to your favorite music, or speaking English with someone else. Some games focus on your memory. They help you to remember the past and past participle forms of verbs. You find them on the internet and they are interactive. For example, there are games that come with a board and cards. They show you a picture and you have to provide the past and past participle forms of the verb in the picture. Let's look at an example of a game with cards. Take a look at this picture. Which is this verb? Which is its past form? Correct. Swam is the past form of swim. Now how about these ones? Other games test both your memory and the speed of your response. Someone shows you the picture of a verb and you push a button to indicate that you know the past and past participle forms of the verb. The fastest player to give the correct answer wins a point. These games are challenging and fun. So as you can see, learning verbs can be an exciting adventure.